The crystal glass shattered against marble floor. Every wedding guest froze. My father's face went white as the TV announcement echoed. Breaking. Local woman destroys billion-dollar crime empire. He'd spent years calling me worthless. Tonight he'd learn the truth. The crystal champagne flute exploded against the marble floor like a gunshot. Silence crashed over the wedding reception as 300 guests turned to stare. My father, Marcus Wellington, stood frozen in his expensive tuxedo. His face drained of all color. The man who'd built his reputation on calling me his greatest disappointment looked like he'd seen a ghost. Then the voice from the hotel bar's massive television cut through the stunned quiet like a sword. Breaking news tonight. Local woman single-handedly dismantles international crime syndicate worth over $2 billion. My face filled the enormous screen. Not wearing the cheap security uniform that had become the running joke at every family gathering. Not standing behind some desk looking defeated. Tonight, the bold headline beneath my photograph read, Elena Cross, undercover agent destroys global trafficking network. The news anchor's voice carried into our lavish ballroom. Agent Cross worked undercover for 2 years, gathering critical intelligence that led to the largest bust in federal history. 73 arrests across 4 countries, including the notorious Blackwater cartel leadership. I remained perfectly still, watching my father's world collapse in real time. I hadn't been invited to this wedding celebration. His 4th marriage to another gold-digging socialite half his age. My younger brother David had begged me to attend. Please come, Elena. You're still family, he'd pleaded, unaware of the years of psychological warfare our father had waged against me. When Marcus spotted me entering the reception earlier, his cold gray eyes had narrowed with familiar disdain. He'd immediately turned to his table of wealthy business associates, his voice dripping with practiced humiliation. Well, look who decided to show up. My daughter, the night shift security guard. The cruel laughter that followed was sharp and deliberate, the kind that cuts deep and leaves scars. I'd absorbed every insult without flinching, because I possessed something far more devastating than words. The truth. Years ago, I'd desperately tried earning his respect. Full academic scholarships, honor society, dreams of changing the world. But when my mother died suddenly, everything changed. Marcus remarried within 6 months, choosing a vindictive woman who viewed me as competition for his fortune. She whispered poison in his ear daily. I was ungrateful, lazy, a burden dragging down their perfect new life. He believed every lie. When I couldn't afford graduate school without his help, he refused, claiming I needed to learn responsibility. I took the first job available. Overnight security at a shipping warehouse. He never stopped reminding me how far I'd fallen, how I'd wasted every opportunity he'd given me. What Marcus never suspected was that my dead-end job was actually the perfect cover for something extraordinary. It started with small inconsistencies. Shipping manifests that didn't match container weights, suspicious late-night deliveries, workers with fake identification cards. One night, I caught an intruder attempting to access restricted areas. His credentials appeared legitimate, but something in his nervous behavior triggered my instincts. My detailed report caught federal attention immediately. 2 days later, FBI agents appeared in our break room. They revealed they'd been tracking the Blackwater Syndicate for years, a sophisticated operation smuggling weapons, narcotics, and human trafficking victims through seemingly legitimate shipping companies. They needed someone invisible, someone the criminals would underestimate completely. They needed me. For 24 months, I lived a double life. By day, I appeared to be just another overlooked security guard, logging containers and watching monitors. By night, I was gathering intelligence that would topple one of the world's most dangerous criminal enterprises. I memorized faces, photographed documents, recorded conversations, and passed critical information through carefully orchestrated dead drops. Every time Marcus mocked my uniform during family phone calls, I smiled silently. Every cruel joke about my pathetic career only strengthened my resolve. He had no idea his failure daughter was about to make international headlines. The massive operation concluded 3 weeks ago with coordinated raids across multiple continents. The media had been restricted from reporting details until tonight, and I'd timed my revelation perfectly. Marcus's wedding reception was packed with his most important social contacts, all watching as his decades of humiliation backfired spectacularly. I observed his expression transform from smugness to shock to something resembling panic. His new bride, Cassandra, looked confused as wedding guests began whispering and pointing at the television screen. The news anchor continued detailing my heroic actions while my father's carefully constructed image crumbled around him. "Interesting career choice for a security guard," I said quietly, raising my champagne glass in a mock toast. The cruel laughter from earlier had died completely. Marcus tried desperately to speak, stammering something about being proud, about never knowing about family support. But men like my father don't recover gracefully from public humiliation. Their ego won't allow acknowledgement of being so completely, devastatingly wrong. I didn't grant him the dignity of a response. Instead, I set down my glass and walked calmly toward the exit, leaving him standing amid scattered crystal shards and spilled champagne. His reputation in ruins before the people whose opinions mattered most to him. Outside, the cool evening air felt liberating. Inside, the wedding celebration had died, replaced by uncomfortable whispers about the security guard who'd saved thousands of lives while her own father belittled her achievements. I'd accomplished 2 missions perfectly. First, I'd helped destroy an international criminal empire. Second, I'd proven that the daughter he'd consistently underestimated was exactly the person he should have been celebrating all along. I didn't need his pride anymore. I had earned something far more valuable, my own unshakable self-respect. And that was enough.